just quickly, I'm going to go over a little bit of this build. We're using the Prototype 23rd Century Dreadnought. We're using the Romulan variant. I got this ship for another character. I really enjoyed it. I used it just as a beam aggro boat using feedback pulse. Once I looked at its layout and its bridge officer stations, I thought it could actually be a pretty good torpedo boat. We're using pretty much the basic torps you'll see on a lot of torp boats. We have the Delphic from Lobi. We have the Neutronic, Enhanced Biomolecular, and the Terran, also using the Terran cannon. 8472 deflector, 2-piece adapted Mako. We've gone Impulse and Shield, and the Temporal Singularity for the trajector jump. In the back, we have the Experimental Proton Weapon, Gravimetric Photon. We also have the console. It's 2 and 3-piece set. Bonuses are really nice for this ship, as you can see here. Then we just have the Kinetic Cutting Beam. We've gone with the Dynamic Power Redistributor. We used to have the M6, but we've been testing this one out. We have the Bioneural. We have the Interface Quantum Distributor. This is the second piece with the Delphic Torp, both from Lobi. It's 2-piece, a little chance, a little crit severity. Then we have the Hydraulic Assembly. This makes up the third piece of our Terran set, so it's giving us some projectile weapon damage, and then it's also giving us secondary torpedo launcher. Then we have the Bioneural Gel Pack. Using this, it's the 2-piece goes with the Neutronic. It's giving us reduced cooldown for the Neutronic. Then the Proton, part of the 3-piece we showed earlier. Temporal Disentanglement, which is from the Butterfly mission. We don't need weapon power with the torp boat, so our auxiliary is really high, so it's giving us a good amount of chance and severity. And then 4 Exploiters, going for critical severity over crit chance. This is something that I took from the Master of Torps, Odin, and that's really where I learned and got into torpedoes. For skills, Basic Science Ultimate. For traits, you'll see a lot of the basics. We have the Kinetic Precision, which is Projectile Weapon R&D 15. Projectile Training, Good Day to Die. Starship traits, we have Tactical Analysis off the Jemadar Escort Carrier. We have Unconventional Tactics, Weapon System Synergy, which is being triggered by our Refracting Tetryon Cascade, our Cutting Beam, the Disruptor, and the Experimental Proton Weapon. Torpedo Barrage and Invincible. We got some of the basics down here: Armor Pen, Auxiliary Offense, and Crit Severity. Then we have Torpedo Pre-Fire Sequence and Omega Kinetic Cutting Shearing. For stations, the reason why I thought this one would be nice, I was able to fit in my Spread 3, get a high yield 1, still get 2 Concentrate Fire Powers. I've had good success with any kind of ship that has command, whether it be a bigger cruiser or dreadnought. I've used the Tactical Command Warbird, the Tactical Scimitar, and I've had good success with torp boats out of all of them. We have 2 copies of Structural Integrity Collapse, and then we have our Aux to Sift to trigger Strategist. We are using Temporal Op primary, Strategist secondary. For duty officers, we have our Space Warfare Specialist, 3 projectile weapon officers. 1 is to reduce cooldown, and then 2 Sartis Crets, chance to increase kinetic damage. A Con officer, just in case I mess up my Strategist, make sure I get my Tactical Analysis off, and then a little bit extra heal out of hazard emitters. So, as you'll see, I'm using my torpedoes on autofire. It's not because I think this is the best way to go, but because I'm still trying to get used to auto-firing them. I will say I think that's the best way, because obviously some torps are better with others. The Delphic always triggers its proc with high yield. The Enhanced Biomolecular obviously hits very hard with high yield. Something like the Neutronic and the Gravimetric are better with spread. So you do get more out of controlling which torp fires when. With my auto firing, I see a lot of fluctuation. I've seen some runs where I've seen out of my Shashar, which is my favorite torp boat, I've seen anywhere from my highs, which were 80, 186, 183, all the way to maybe 120 because it's really all up in the air about how lucky I get. So this is my basic torp boat. If you enjoy torpedo boats and you really want to break it down and learn a lot about it, I suggest you check out Odinite. That's where I learned everything. Thanks.